A girl sends a message saying she wants to end their relationship, and the main character, Chen Yuan, breaks down in tears, stunned and in disbelief. He hopes it's just a prank because he had dreams for their future, including marriage. But then she blocks him. Crushed, he collapses in his chair. One of his friends was planning to invite him to play a game, but finds him unconscious instead. The friend tries to help, but Chen Yuan storms out, slamming the door. His friends are frustrated that he can't keep a relationship. Chen Yuan, known for hopelessly chasing girls and spending on them with nothing in return, is furious because after 3 years, he still didn't win over a girl named Chuang. The scene shifts to him pleading with her in public, saying he had brought her dinner, her favorite meal. Bystanders whisper that he worked 4 jobs just to support her. Chuang calmly explains that she thought about things and decided to get back with her ex. Chen Yuan knows the ex and angrily reminds her he cheated and left her pregnant. Suddenly, the ex pulls up in a car and calls Chuang over. She says this is better and leaves with him. Devastated, Chen Yuan believes he'll never find love. Suddenly, a mysterious system appears, revealing his stats. His name, a personal balance of 230 coins and a single strength point. It also mentions he has 90 billion coins, but only for his bootlicker status. Confused, he stares at a girl nearby. She asks if something is wrong since he's been staring at her chest. The system identifies her as Su Lil, 21 years old, 165 centimeters tall, 49 kilograms, and nearly an 8 out of 10 in looks. Her favorability toward him is -50. The system says if any girl reaches 95 favorability, she becomes his bootlicker. Chen Yuan is baffled, wondering if he needs to use the 90 billion coins on women. The system confirms they can only be spent on women. When one reaches 95 favorability, he earns a tenth of the amount spent back, along with other bonuses. Deciding to test it, he invites Su Lil to eat, offering to pay. The system approves, saying he can start spending. Once a girl reaches 95 favorability, he also gains 5 points to enhance his abilities. Su Lil questions if he's just flaunting money and whether he's trying to flirt with her. She remembers how she once made a guy spend more than 30,000 with just a few words. Chen Yuan replies that she should test him to find out. She tells him to buy snacks for the entire class. Su Lil looks down on him, thinking he dresses poorly and assumes he'll back down. But Chen Yuan spends 50,000 without hesitation. People who mocked him begin to realize he's wealthy despite his appearance. Chen Yuan tells her the amount is insignificant to him and asks her to add him. Su Lil wonders if he's one of those rich kids who inherited wealth. She agrees to add him, but insists they go somewhere first to test his sincerity. Standing in front of a luxury store, she claims she's not materialistic, but needs to know if he's genuine. Chen Yuan thinks he might be thrown out. Chen Yuan reassures Su Lil that she can buy whatever she wants. Inside, he notices Chuang with her new boyfriend. Su Lil guessed that she was his ex. He says it's the perfect time to run into her. Su Lil asks for a specific limited edition bag. The clerk says there's only one left, and Chuang is trying it on. Chuang boasts that she'll prove the difference between winners and losers. She hints at an upcoming birthday. This confuses her boyfriend, who thought her birthday had already passed. She clarifies that was the lunar calendar birthday, and now it's her solar one. Chuang insists she isn't materialistic. Her boyfriend seems uncertain. Su Lil snatched the bag from Chuang's hands. She sarcastically apologized, pretending to be polite. Then she said she would buy the bag herself since Chuang wasn't taking it. She gains 20 favorability points. As she admires the bag, Chen Yuan gains another 20, and then another. He's thrilled that a bag gave him 60 points. However, he realizes he won't get much money back if he reaches 95 favorability too quickly with only small purchases. The clerk comments how some guys pretend to be rich but won't spend on their girlfriends, while the poorly dressed Chen Yuan gives Su Lil everything. Chuang is left humiliated, while Su Lil proudly says a good boyfriend, like a bag, should be held onto tightly. She compliments Chen Yuan, thinking she can't afford to lose him. Tearfully, Chuang bumps into him, saying he's gone too far. Chen Yuan coldly says she still has a lot to suffer. The system then activates a second relationship. Chuang's stats appear: 21 years old, 163 centimeters tall, 49 kilograms, and a slightly higher attractiveness than Su Lil. Her favorability is -10. Su Lil asks where they're headed next. Chen Yuan smiles, saying the night is just beginning and he has more than enough money. Chen Yuan asks if one bag is enough. Su Lil, overwhelmed, begins grabbing everything. He pays and the clerks arrange delivery. He continues gaining favorability points, 5 with each swipe. Eventually, Su Lil is exhausted and doesn't know where to put all the bags. Chen Yuan offers to buy her a house. This backfires, he loses points. Su Lil tells him to slow down. Even for someone wealthy, buying a house is too much too soon. Su Lil, a junior at the Fine Arts College, is 21 years old, weighs 49 kilograms, and likes the color black. Chen Yuan asks for a prepaid card for her and loads it with 500,000 credits. She blushes and smiles, happy with the gift. He whispers that if she can't resist, she should give in. Su Lil calls him a naughty boy, and he gains 30 favorability points. The store clerks gush over how caring he is. Chen Yuan reflects that money makes flirting easier. Su Lil wonders why he spends so much on her, but not himself. He admits he doesn't usually buy things for himself. To impress him, Su Lil took him shopping with the 50,000 her father had given her. She bought him new clothes. She also paid for a fresh haircut. Chen Yuan looks fresh and gains another 15 favorability points. He asks if he did something wrong. Su Lil gently holds his chin and says there's nothing wrong with him. She now thinks they look like a perfect couple. She thanks him, saying it's been a special day. Her favorability reaches 68. Back at the dorm, his friends notice his new look and ask what happened. He says he went on a date. They remind him how recently he was crying over Chuang and warned that Su Lil could drain his money. Chen Yuan thanks them. Then a message from Chuang arrives. She says if he hates her, they should delete each other's contacts. He thinks about increasing her favorability for profit. He replies kindly, saying she still has a special place in his heart. She explains she's only with her ex because her mother is ill and needs 50,000 for treatment. Chen Yuan sends the money. Her friend asks who did that. Chuang admits it was her ex, Chen Yuan. The friend is shocked. Even after sending the money, he only gains 5 favorability points. Chuang bombards him with questions: why he sent it, where the money came from, what Su Lil is to him, why he never bought her a bag, and whether he's secretly rich. Chen Yuan ignores her after 15 messages. He wonders if there's a more entertaining way to spend. He finds a girl doing a live stream, about to log off due to lack of gifts. He decides this is better than buying bags and sends 1 rocket, then 100. Her phone crashes. In the live stream, viewers are stunned and question who sent all the gifts. Chen Yuan realizes having money brings attention. He sends another 900 rockets, crashing her stream. At the company managing the streamers, an employee runs to report a guy spent 10 million on one stream. Everyone is shocked, unsure whether he is laundering money or works for the platform. Other streamers see his nickname and try messaging him. The girl from the livestream is amazed and messages him, asking if he's still watching. But Chen Yuan has already gone to sleep after a long day of spending. The next morning, his friends read the news about a mysterious guy spending 10 million. They dream about what they'd do with that much money. Chen Yuan realizes he spent all that money and didn't even get favorability. Opening a social app, he sees countless messages from girls. One says she's 28, divorced, and wants to meet. She invites him to her studio but gets no reply. He isn't excited since it doesn't help with his goals. His friends are getting ready to go out, and he asks where they're heading. They say they're off to see the campus goddess, Zia Yuki, and want to get there early to see her up close. The system displays Zhao Yuki's profile. She is the most admired girl at the university, vice president of the student council, a pianist, a ballet dancer, and a fencing champion. Her talents make her seem untouchable to most students. For the past 3 years, no one has been able to get close to her. Chen Yuan sees her as the ultimate challenge. Nearby, Chuang talks to her friend, noting how Chen Yuan only started dressing well after they broke up. She's worried he'll clash with her new boyfriend. Meanwhile, Chen Yuan listens as students chat about who'll win Zhao Yuki's heart. One student brags and walks up to her, asking for her contact. Her friend tries to stop him, but the first insists he just wants advice from the vice president. Zhao Yuki watches curiously. Her friend grabbed the guy by the collar and told him not to go near Zhao Yuki. Then Chen Yuan boldly asks for her contact too. Her friend mocks him, but he stands firm. The president praises his courage. Her friend even admits Chen Yuan is more handsome. Chen Yuan declines the offer to join the student union, saying his only goal is to pursue Zhao Yuki. Other students watch and admire Chen Yuan's confidence. Zhao Yuki, impressed, gives him her contact. Chuang's friend notices and wonders what's going on between them. Chen Yuan casually says he just likes pretty girls and doesn't see a reason to hide it. He forms a flirty bond with Yuki, though her favorability is still at 0. Outside, his friends cheer him on. They say he used to look desperate, but now he's confident. One jokes that if he gets close to Yuki, he has to introduce them to her friends. A rejected student complains, saying Chen Yuan has good taste, but still has a lot to learn from him. Just then, Su Lil shows up and calls out to Chen Yuan, saying she's been waiting. Everyone is shocked. She usually ignores guys. Chen Yuan offers to make it up to her with a meal. She asks if she looks good in the outfit he bought. He replies that beauty doesn't depend on clothes. They walk away. The rejected guy stands there, confused. Chuang watches, tears welling in her eyes. Later, Su Lil hands Chen Yuan a drawing she made of him. She says she stayed up all night and asks him not to throw it away. He's touched. It's the first gift he's ever received from a girl. He wonders aloud if this is all just a game. Su Lil gets upset and tries to take the drawing back. Chen Yuan says he'll keep it as a family treasure and admits he likes her more as a person than for her gifts. She's impressed and he gains another 5 points. Chen Yuan suspects she wants him to be her pet, but he has other plans. Just then a guy walks up, asking who Chen Yuan is and whether he's wealthy. Chen Yuan realizes the guy is another admirer of Su Lil. She says she doesn't know the guy and he doesn't control her. Chen Yuan introduces himself and asks the guy, whose name is Yang Yu, how long he's been following Su Lil. Yang Yu says 6 months. Chen Yuan tells him his own story, how he was replaced after 3 years, working 4 jobs and barely surviving. Yang Yu doesn't get the point. Chen Yuan says being rejected can fuel self-improvement and asks why a man shouldn't have a good life partner. Yang Yu tears up. Su Lil, confused, says Yang Yu is just a friend. Chen Yuan tells her he doesn't care about her past, but won't tolerate disrespect. He rips the drawing and tells her she can still use the card he gave her, but he doesn't want to see her again until she sorts out her feelings. Su Lil regrets her actions, realizing Chen Yuan is the first person who truly cared for her. He gains another 5 points. Reflecting on his growth, Chen Yuan decides to move forward. He then notices Zia Yuki starting a livestream. Among all the girls he has met so far, Kiki appears the most innocent. During her livestream, she introduced herself as a piano student who had just started streaming 2 days ago. She politely asked for support. Chen Yuan finds her adorable and wonders if the elegant and composed Zia Yuki might actually be warm-hearted deep down. He arrogantly notes how few viewers Kiki has and questions if that's all she can attract. Just then, Shomi messages him asking where he is. He replies, pretending not to know her. She reminds him about the many gifts he sent during her stream and is shocked he forgot. He tells her he was just playing and asks if she is free to meet. Shomi declines, saying she is busy. He ignores her. Trying to win him back, Shomi promises to do a special live stream. Chen Yuan, annoyed, realizes she just wants more gifts. He's frustrated because he has no system linked to her and has already spent over 10 million. Tired, he decides to stop wasting money on her and instead support Zia Yuki. A live stream duel begins between 2 streamers. The winner is the one who receives the most donations. Chen Yuan is amused and asks who Yuki's opponent is. Shomi laughs, confident she'll win against a beginner. Chen Yuan says he isn't sure and watches as the duel starts. Shomi quickly gains 10,000 points. Zia Yuki only has 206. Still, Yuki gives her all, using talent and creativity to entertain. Shomi, mocking, tells Yuki she should give up because she has a wealthy supporter, Chen Yuan. The viewers are hyped. Shomi thinks that with all her efforts, Chen Yuan will surely send her gifts. Suddenly, rockets appear on the screen, but not for her. All of them go to Yuki. Her points skyrocket to over 150,000. The notification says the donor is Lonely Smoke, which is Chen Yuan. Yuki is shocked. Shomi is furious, demanding to know why the gifts weren't for her. Flustered, Shomi quickly ends her stream, apologizing to viewers. Chen Yuan smirks, pleased by her reaction. He hopes Zia Yuki doesn't disappoint after his massive gift. At the streaming company, the employees go wild. They wonder who this mysterious donor could be. One speculates that he must be the son of royalty to throw around money like that. Another streamer jokingly grabs a triangle instrument, saying maybe he likes music. Yuki and her friend talk about what happened. Her friend suggests she could become a celebrity, but Yuki is hesitant. She says she doesn't think pleasing men online is a long-term goal and values financial and personal independence. Her friend asks if she knows the donor. Yuki shakes her head. Still, she feels grateful and wants to send a thank you message. Her friend reminds her that she said she didn't want to get involved with anyone. Yuki suddenly says maybe she does know who he is. She imagines he must be someone rich and talented who chooses to live an ordinary life and fell for a simple girl like her. Her friend laughs and says she watches too many dramas. Yuki continues imagining his life must be hard, hiding his true identity. Her friend tells her it's late and time for bed, but Yuki still wants to message Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan checks his phone and sees a message from a girl inviting him to lunch. He says he wants to eat his favorite dish, crayfish. She agrees to meet him at the school gate that afternoon. He notices she didn't ask anything about the gifts or his money. Curious, he wonders what she really wants. The next morning, Chen Yuan arrives on his scooter. A guy standing next to a luxury car asks if he's waiting for someone. Chen Yuan asks the same. The guy says he's waiting for his girlfriend. Then Kiki appears. The guy tells Chen Yuan not to stare because it takes hard work and money to get a girl like her. He boasts that he'll take all the pretty girls. To his surprise, Kiki runs straight toward Chen Yuan. The guy thinks she wants a ride in his car, but instead she hops on Chen Yuan's scooter. The guy is left speechless, questioning why he even bothers being rich. Kiki and Chen Yuan ride away together. Kiki daydreams that they are engaged as they arrive at the restaurant. They order spicy crayfish. The dish is served, and Chen Yuan arranges the table neatly. Kiki is touched by his manners and thinks he's noble despite not going to fancy places. As Chen Yuan eats the tiny crayfish, Kiki playfully comments. She says it must be the smallest he's ever had. She admires how humble he is, imagining that he seeks a peaceful life. Unexpectedly, Chen Yuan gains 10 favorability points. Then Kiki peels a crayfish and offers it to him. Just as he's about to eat, Chuang shows up. Chuang sees Kiki feeding him and turns to her boyfriend. She suggests they find a different table because the place is too crowded. Her boyfriend replies that it's not about the crowd, but the familiar faces. He approaches Chen Yuan and throws a stack of cash on the table, offering him money to give up the table. Chen Yuan is confused and wonders if the guy thinks this is impressive. The man throws more cash, asking if Chen Yuan wants more. Kiki looks angry, clearly bothered. She clutches her bag tightly, upset their peaceful lunch is ruined. The man waves more fake-looking money and claims he can buy out the whole place. A server offers to find them another table. The boyfriend refuses and insists on that exact table. Suddenly, a handbag flies and hits him. A large woman walks over to them. Chen Yuan is confused. The man turns pale. He recognizes the woman and calls her by name, Elena. Elena glares at him, saying that if she hadn't shown up, she wouldn't have caught him cheating. She scolds him and he denies it, claiming she's everything to him. Onlookers gasp. Elena yells at the other girl, accusing her of seduction. The girl cries and says he lied about being single. He says she's just making things up and slaps her across the face. She falls to the ground in shock. He moves to strike her again. But Chen Yuan stops him. He questions if the man enjoys humiliating himself. The system notifies Chen Yuan that he has earned another 20 favorability points. Chuang tells Chen Yuan that she believes he truly cares. He keeps gaining points, another 20 and then another 20. Finally, the system announces that the second target, Chuang, has reached over 95 favorability points. Chen Yuan has successfully turned the tables. The system reports that Chen Yuan spent 50,000 on Chuang and will receive 5,000 back. She is now part of his bootlicker group. As a reward, Chen Yuan receives 20 strength points and allocates 10 of them to strength. Chen Yuan allocates 10 more points to fitness. Flexing his arm, he faces off against the angry blonde man, who grabs a bottle and threatens him. Chen stays calm and simply calls him annoying before punching the bottle and the man, sending him flying. The blonde crashes to the floor, defeated. Chen says that depending on others isn't shameful, but using women and hurting them is disgraceful. The blonde trembles, gripping a knife handle. The girl next to Chen, Kiki, nervously tells him to end things quickly. The blonde man tries to charge Chen again. But with his upgraded abilities, Chen dodges effortlessly. Chen strikes with his elbow, and the attacker collapses in pain. The entire food court watches in silence. Foaming at the mouth, the man lies motionless as Chen walks away, hands in his pockets. Chuang clings to his leg, begging for forgiveness and another chance. Cold and detached, Chen reminds her of the man who once carried her for 10 kilometers at 3 in the morning to the hospital, the one who saved for half a year to buy her a phone that she didn't even like, and the one who saw her vanity yet always believed she had a kind heart. He finishes by saying that all those versions of him are gone. Later, he talks with the school president. He apologizes for the commotion, but she brushes it off and tells him to call her Kiki instead. She says she wasn't bothered and finds him more interesting the more she sees him, believing he has many surprises in store. Back home, Chuang arrives soaking wet from the rain, crying silently. Her friend asks why she didn't use an umbrella, but Chuang can barely speak. Her friend then asks if it was Chen Yuan who upset her, mentioning that she heard he donated over 10 million to Zia Yuki's livestream. Shocked, Chuang asks if that's true. Her friend confirms it, saying the news came from Yuki's classmates. Chuang screams his name, filled with regret. Meanwhile, Chen Yuan's friends are in the dorm playing mobile games. They're amazed he's won 18 matches in a row. Chen had no idea that using 20 attribute points would make him so strong in online games. A stylish guy suggests Chen could become a top streamer and make millions. Chen, impressed by his new skills, wonders who will be the next to benefit from his physical upgrades. Suddenly, his phone rings. His friends shout that someone is calling. Chen wonders what Sulil will try this time to manipulate him. He picks up and speaks coldly, addressing her as Miss Sulil and asking what she wants. Sulil, crying and sitting in a room filled with past gifts from Chen, says she doesn't know what to do. She then asks to borrow 500,000. Sulil explains her family used to be wealthy, but now they're deep in debt, unable to even pay the interest. She pleads for help. Chen Yuan simply asks what she needs and to send the account details. Stunned, she quickly sends the info, still unsure if he'll really do it. Then Chen sends her 5 million. She panics, thinking he added an extra 0. He casually replies that maybe he did and tells her to keep it. Sulil is overwhelmed, crying and thanking him repeatedly. Her favorability shoots up. She promises to pay him back when she can. Her feelings grow stronger, now reaching 94. Chen Yuan sees this and grumbles that winning her over is taking too long. He considers confessing but stops himself, knowing showing feelings too soon can lead to failure. The next day, he's with his friends when Chuang appears with pastries. She offers him breakfast. His friends are surprised. Before he can respond, Sulil also appears, bringing more breakfast, saying he must be tired of cafeteria food. A face-off begins. Just then, another girl calls his name. It's the school president, Zia Yuki. She brought ramen for him to share. The three girls stare each other down. Yuki is graceful and confident, the second most admired girl on campus. Chen Yuan asks how she knew he liked ramen with meat. She explains it was easy to guess since they went on a date. Chen, no longer trying to charm anyone, now waits to see who will try to charm him. He says the president wins since she understands his tastes. A subtle jab to the others. Yuki comments that she wouldn't bring breakfast without knowing his preferences. If someone doesn't know those details, it means they don't truly care. Her words hit hard. Then she gives him a new iPhone as a gift. Everyone is stunned. One of his friends jokes that this hurts more than losing a parent. Another girl comments on the phone's value, 10,000. Chen tells Yuki she didn't need to do that. She replies it's the thought that counts. She knows he spent far more on her and she doesn't have much money. Elsewhere, Chuang is heartbroken, wondering how she'll ever win him back. A few days later, new competitors appear. Sulil approaches Chuang and suggests they team up to deal with Yuki. Meanwhile, Chen walks by, holding his new iPhone. Chen compliments Yuki for her thoughtful gift. She looks back, thinking he said something, but Chuang says it was nothing. Chen sees that his favorability with Yuki is at 40. He grumbles, thinking she should have fallen for him already. Still, he's impressed by how she makes him feel like a better person. Despite not having full points, she treats him as if he already earned them. His phone buzzes. It's Xiaomi, the small-time streamer from earlier. She messages him, saying she was just joking last time and wants to meet, though she's scared to meet fans in real life. Chen is confused and wonders if that's just an excuse. He tells her to send photos because he's not easy to impress. Soon after, he gets an invite from someone named Dragon King to join a secret group of wealthy otaku. He joins under the name Solitary Cigarette. Other members are amazed he was invited, calling him the biggest donor ever. Chen introduces himself and asks them to take care of him. One member notes that he must be rich and probably has some special skills. Another offers a business opportunity. Chen decides to play along. He replies that he's interested and asks for details. One person offers to sell him a villa. Chen asks where it is. They tell him it's in the Anu district, where homes cost over $1 million. He decides he'll go check it out soon. Inside the mansion, a bald man wonders if Chen Yuan is serious about buying it, and if this legendary spender even exists. The next day, he visits the villa with Zia Yuki. She asks why he brought her there so suddenly. At the entrance, the villa owner greets Chen and confirms if he's the person known as Solitary Cigarette. Recognizing the man, Chen greets him warmly. The villa owner, surprised, notes that Chen doesn't look particularly wealthy, but being accompanied by the school president adds credibility. He suspects Chen might come from a secretive, rich background and anticipates a tough deal. The villa owner introduces himself as Hong Yano, a small businessman in financial trouble and needing to sell the villa. He invites them inside and starts describing the property. The house spans over 500 square meters, with the land measuring more than 2,000. It's fully decorated with Italian-designed furniture. He invites them to enjoy the view of the river and the skyline, saying if he didn't need money, he'd want to be buried there. Yuki starts to understand that Chen might be seriously considering buying the place. Chen looks around and comments that the house isn't as beautiful as he expected. He casually asks about the price. Hong Yano replies that due to multiple offers, it's hard to negotiate, but he wants to sell it for about 50 million, though he's thinking maybe 60 million is fair. Chen reacts with surprise, and the seller assumes it might be too expensive for him. But then Chen says he didn't expect it to be that cheap. Everyone is stunned by his remark. Hong Yano silently regrets not asking for 70 or even 80 million. Chen turns to Yuki and asks if they should buy the house. She's startled and says it doesn't matter to her. He steps closer and says he's buying it for her. Hong Yano is speechless, never imagining someone would buy the place for the school president. Yuki stands frozen. 60 million feels like too much. She starts imagining various situations, afraid that she might end up as his hostage. Yuki apologizes and says she can't accept such a big gift. Chen gently takes her hand and asks her to hear him out. He explains that due to ownership limits, he was planning to transfer this house to her anyway. He says this way she'll have a place of her own. Her imagination goes wild. Chen lines in and whispers that everything he owns is also hers. The system rewards him with 10 favorability points, then another 10 and another. He reaches 90. Chen mentally praises his own acting, saying he deserves an award. Another girl nearby nudges the seller, asking when someone will do that for her. The seller sighs, saying he doesn't have that kind of wealth. Chen swipes his card, saying he will handle the money transfer and finish the paperwork soon. The seller assures him that everything will be taken care of in the next few days. Everything is going according to plan. Chen calculates that once she reaches the required favorability, his 70 million investment will earn him over 700,000. She looks at Chen, expecting him to say something romantic. Her thoughts jump to weddings in Milan, expensive rings, even future baby names. She starts worrying if he'll forget her as time goes on. But before she can imagine more, they reach her destination. She steps out and asks if he's not coming with her. Chen replies that a friend invited him to play games and waves goodbye. She waves back sadly, clearly expecting more than a casual farewell. Chen arrives at the internet cafe and greets his friends. They scold him for taking too long, saying they had to start without him. They urge him to register and join quickly because they're losing. Then he notices Su Lil is there. She explains that her father owns a chain of internet cafes and recently opened this one. She's there to help attract customers. She happily announces that their family's debt has been cleared. She tells Chen to wait while she gets him a drink and an unlimited credit card for the cafe. Chen says it's not necessary, but then chaos erupts. Two shady men appear. One of them, looking like a movie villain, asks Su Lil if she's the daughter of Mr. La Shu and when he plans to repay his debts. Disheveled, Su Lil says the 5 million was already paid. The man laughs and says that was only the principal. There's still 15 million in interest. Su Lil accuses them of scamming and threatens to call the police. The man grabs her wrist and warns her to be quiet. He says that if she refuses to pay, she can work off the debt at his nightclub. Chen intervenes and tells the man to back off if he wants to leave unharmed. Su Lil becomes emotional. The thug laughs and orders his men to attack. A fight breaks out. Some of the thugs wield knives, others just their fists. Chen lands a perfect kick on the main thug's chin, impressing his friends. One says it looks like a cyclone strike. The scene cuts to the gang retreating. A representative from a casino warns that if they're seen again, there won't be any talking. Su Lil throws herself into Chen's arms. The system notifies him that he reached 95 favorability with her and spent 5.3 million, earning 530,000 in return. She is now officially one of his loyal followers. As Chen hugs her, Chuang watches from a distance, but Chen only focuses on where to assign his newly earned attribute points. Then Chuang storms in, calling Su Lil a traitor for siding with Chen. He scolds her for trying to form alliances. Chen, annoyed by the noise, tells the system to assign all his points to strength and agility. Everyone looks around, but realizes Chen has vanished. Chen casually strolls through campus, reflecting on how he already reached favorability milestones with Chuang and Su Lil. Now, only President Yuki remains. Since there's only one president, she's the key to his plan. Suddenly, someone taps him on the shoulder. A girl asks him to move because the track team needs that space. Chen notes her confidence and straightforwardness. He asks for her contact, but another person steps in, warning that she's already in a relationship and that Chen should back off if he doesn't want trouble. Chen recognizes the guy and has a flashback to a time when this same person beat him up. He asks the guy if he remembers, then mocks him for criticizing others. Curious, Chen activates the system on the girl. Her name is He-Jai. She is 19, stands at 1.69 meters, weighs 50 kilograms, and has an appearance rating of 8.2. Her current favorability is -5. The system says that due to the difficulty level, she will yield more attribute rewards. Excited, Chen calculates that he can earn 22 points. Meanwhile, the jealous boyfriend prepares for a race. Spectators wonder who the new guy is in the last lane. The race begins and the boyfriend speeds off, mocking his opponents. But he doesn't realize Chen is already speeding past him, leaving only dust behind. Chen tells He-Jai to watch closely as he's about to win. The sporty boyfriend, nearly bursting with anger, accuses Chen of mocking him. But before he realizes it, Chen laps him with ease. The crowd gasps in awe. In just 15 seconds, Chen completes his 5th lap. He crosses the finish line as people cheer wildly. A professor, noticing Chen's talent, asks if he would like to join the track team and compete nationally. With some training, he says Chen could become a champion. The embarrassed boyfriend demands to know why his spot was taken. Chen replies that it's not his spot anymore. Jai watches, imagining Chen as a professional runner. This earns Chen 5 more favorability points. The boyfriend, frustrated, asks if she's thinking of something else. She denies it, saying she was only worried about him. Chen gains another 5 points, and then 5 more. Back in her room, Yuki's friend asks where she was. Surprised, Yuki asks her friend if she knew that Chen Yuan had bought her a house. She confirms that it was true, and that the villa cost 60 million. Her friend wonders how the school president could be so lucky, yet so naive. She then picks up her phone and sees a forum post spreading rumors. She calls Yuki over to see. The post accuses Chen Yuan from our university of being trash, claiming he's involved with multiple women at the same time. The two girls exchange concerned looks. Chen wonders to himself if people really see him as trash just for spending money and decides it's all lies. Elsewhere, 3 students are gleefully planning to ruin Chen's reputation. Suddenly, a guy appears behind them and asks what they're doing. Startled, they justify their actions by saying Chen has been too arrogant and they're trying to teach him a lesson. Meanwhile, Liang, the guy who lost the race, sees the same rumors. He realizes Chen is the same guy he beat up years ago at their old school. He recalls how Chen was strange and always chased after girls. Liang sits down on a chair, and the 3 schemers gather around him to hear more details they can use against Chen. Liang says that Chen thinks he's above everyone since winning the race, but he'll show people the truth. The forum post spreads more lies, saying Chen manipulates women and causes them to fail academically. Students begin to doubt him. In the president's office, an administrator sees the post on a student's phone. He declares that Chen must be expelled, but says he'll investigate first. The story takes a turn as someone says Chen Yuan is not what people think. They describe him as someone who can't stand seeing a girl suffer and will spend all his money to help. They call him a dark knight who fights evil at night with powerful punches. The one saying this is Yuki, the student president. To her, Chen is a hero. Some question whether that's an exaggeration, but she says it's her instinct. The vice president assures everyone that Yuki may be eccentric, but is trustworthy. Still, the university president isn't satisfied and demands they interview more people. The next person they question is Chuang. She admits Chen was too good for her and calls herself foolish and greedy. She cries, wishing he would take her back. A police officer hands her tissues and asks if Chen continued to act kindly even after she rejected him. The university president watches her cry, thinking she doesn't deserve Chen's love and that Chen has done nothing wrong. Outside, the president smokes a cigarette to calm his jealousy. Deep down, he realizes Chen is innocent. Then he sees 2 people approaching with a banner. It's Su Lil and her father. Su Lil says she wanted to make a banner for Chen. Her father explains how Chen helped protect their family. The president is both impressed and even more jealous. The president walks away, feeling guilty for judging Chen too soon. He rereads the post and sees a girl's comment that if Chen is trash, then she's willing to jump into the trash can. Girls across campus begin to praise Chen, saying he makes their hearts race. The president is stunned that only women are defending Chen. He wonders if people attack Chen simply because he stands out too much. He makes a formal announcement, saying he conducted a full investigation and confirms that all the rumors are false. He publicly clears Chen's name. He praises Chen for helping others without seeking attention. With emotion in his voice, he presents Chen with a special award for positive contributions to society, urging all students to learn from him. Chen is bewildered, wondering why he's receiving the award. Liang, watching from the crowd, curses the president for not destroying Chen's reputation. He also notices his own girlfriend smiling while talking about Chen. Chen gains 10 more favorability points. Another 10 points are added to his favorability score as the event ends. Liang's girlfriend questions his behavior, asking if he's jealous or just going crazy. She says she truly admires Chen, especially because he helps others without asking for anything in return. She brings up how Chen beat Liang in the race, but didn't join the track team. Liang grabs her wrist aggressively, but she tells him to let go and that he's hurting her. She accuses him of being inferior to Chen. Just then, Chen calls his driver, asking to be picked up. He requests not to be picked up in an expensive car, wanting to maintain a low profile. Unfortunately, the driver arrives in a flashy vehicle. Chen gets angry, reminding him not to draw attention. The driver apologizes, saying he misunderstood. As Chen leaves, Liang's girlfriend tells him she wants to break up. Liang refuses but ends up sitting alone, dejected. Chen transfers money to the driver, who thanks him. Chen says he'll return to school and doesn't need a ride because the car is too flashy. The driver respects his wishes. Chen reflects that he needs only a few more points from Yuki to complete the bootlicker system. He decides he must buy her something special and wonders if someone from the group chat has anything to sell. One of the guys jokes that Chen must be rich since he bought a house so casually. Another asks if he wants to buy a luxury car. A new guy introduces himself, saying he's from the Jiang family and they run an imported car business. Chen sees the name on the business card and realizes it belongs to a powerful automotive group. He assumes the guy must be a second-generation heir. Chen compliments him for managing such a huge business at a young age. The guy says he thought Chen was older because he bought such an expensive house. Two other students watching from afar guess that Chen must come from wealth if he's talking to someone like the manager of the Jiang group, but they give up, thinking they don't stand a chance. The manager mentions his store has the city's largest selection of luxury cars. He invites Chen to choose any vehicle. Chen, thinking big, says he wants a Bugatti Chiron. The manager is surprised and says they don't have one. Chen asks for a Lamborghini Veneno or a Pagani Huayra. Again, the manager apologizes. They don't have those either. The staff start sweating, feeling pressure from Chen's high expectations. The manager explains that their cars range between 2 and 8 million, and the ones Chen wants are far above that range. Chen says he's disappointed and expected more. The manager, embarrassed, offers to show him a Ferrari LaFerrari instead. He describes it as a rare supercar with a 12-cylinder engine, 800 horsepower, dual transmission, and a 0 to 100 speed in under 3 seconds. The price is 22 million. Chen decides this might be a perfect gift for Yuki. If the price is above 20 million, he says he'll take it. He tells the manager to prepare the car and asks for it to be delivered to Riverside Villa Community number 1. The manager nervously agrees. At that moment, Chen gets a phone call from Liu Wenyi yelling in his ear. The next day, one of Chen Yuan's friends shares a painful memory. On his birthday, his girlfriend Juoya said she was getting her nails done with a friend. Hours passed, it started to rain, and she had no umbrella. Concerned, he decided to bring her an umbrella. But what he saw broke his heart. She was with another man. They had been together for 3 years and were even planning to meet each other's families. Still heartbroken, he asks Chen how to win her back. Chen says the mistake was hers, not his, and scolds him for acting like a bootlicker. The devastated friend insists he can't let go that easily. Frustrated, Chen grabs his phone. His friend asks who he's calling. Chen says not to worry, he has a plan. He will make Juoya regret everything. Chen contacts the car dealership and asks to borrow cars worth over 20 million. The dealer agrees to arrange it all. Then Chen calls Sula. His friend watches, surprised at how easily Chen can call someone like her. Sula wonders if Chen is introducing her to someone important, but he clarifies that he just needs her help for a prank. The next day, Chen's friend arrives looking flashy. Sula clings to his arm, pretending they're a couple. She jokes about the expensive car and nearly causing an accident. Juoya, the ex-girlfriend, is shocked to see her former boyfriend like this. She accuses him of showing off. He nervously replies that someone was barking, hinting at her new boyfriend. Other friends prepare for the act, saying it's time for the big show. Several guys arrive in Ferraris. A white-haired guy steps out of the car and mocks Juoya's new boyfriend, accusing him of pretending to be rich just to impress girls. The new boyfriend begs to be let off, but the white-haired guy continues his rant, saying girls like Juoya are easily fooled and have already lost. Angry at being deceived, Juoya turns on her new boyfriend. Meanwhile, Chen's friend tries to walk away, but she clings to his leg, begging for another chance. She confesses she's not greedy, but afraid of being poor. He coldly tells her it's over and to never contact him again. As the new boyfriend tries to sneak out, he bumps into Chen. Chen asks if he wants to leave, but only if he can take 100 slaps first. Inside the bar, everyone with Ferraris celebrates meeting Chen. They tell him he doesn't need to be formal. The white-haired guy mentions he has a favorite streamer, but no money to send gifts, asking Chen for help. Chen suspects they're testing him. The dealer reassures him it was just a joke. Chen leaves his phone on the table and tells them they can spend as much as they want. Chen knows his account is empty, but trusts that the guy won't realize it in time. In the bathroom, he listens from afar. Back at the table, the white-haired guy starts spending. Others stare in shock, announcing the total reached over 14 million. Chen returns, asking why everyone looks stunned. The guy hands back the phone nervously. Chen mocks him for only spending 20 million, saying he expected more. He boasts that he'll spend 60 million next time. The white-haired guy tries to stop him, saying it's too much. The white-haired guy proposes a toast, calling Chen their leader now. Onlookers whisper, wondering who he really is. Just then, Chen gets a message from the little streamer. She says she's in town and wants to meet. Chen agrees to a date. He thinks it's finally time to enjoy the rewards of his generosity. The chapter begins with a long message from Chuang, asking for forgiveness and saying she dreamed of traveling the world with Chen, but when she woke up, she was alone. Chen reads the message and blocks her, focused on his date. The streamer asks what he's doing, but he brushes it off. She recalls her boss warning her that this rich man spends more in a day than all her fans combined, and that she must win him over no matter what. She tries to charm him, asking how he became rich so young. Suddenly, the system alerts Chen that her favorability is too high, making it impossible to connect. Chen realizes he must lower her favorability. He begins acting horribly, putting his feet on the table, picking his nose, and admitting he's jobless and living off his bankrupt father. He even asks for his gifts back, saying he gave too much. The streamer is disgusted, her favorability dropping quickly. She calls someone, saying the man is harassing her and might be a stalker. Chen calls her shameless for switching her attitude so fast. Then a guy bursts into the room demanding to know who's bothering his woman. She runs to him, pretending to be scared. But the man walks up to Chen and greets him warmly, calling him Brother Yuan. The man who entered is thrilled to meet Chen Yuan and calls it an honor. The little streamer stands there confused, unable to understand why such a powerful man is treating Chen Yuan with such respect. It turns out this man is one of the wealthiest second-generation heirs in the area, owning several major businesses. He slams the table, furious that the little streamer insulted one of the most important people he knows, calling Chen poor. She suddenly realizes this was a test of her sincerity, and she completely failed. Desperate to fix her mistake, she begins apologizing and begging for forgiveness. With this, the system connects to her, allowing Chen to track her favorability again. Chen pretends to forgive her, calling her a naive girl. She eagerly agrees and says he truly is her favorite, raising her favorability by another 10, then another 10. Chen wonders if this is how people make a living now, seducing others for money and status. He decides he's not letting her off that easily. The rich friend scolds her as well, reminding her how much he spent to promote her fame. He then invites Chen to an exclusive event, saying it's out of respect for their friendship. Chen agrees and gets into the car. The little streamer insists on joining. On the way, she hugs him and apologizes again. Chen opens his streaming app and starts donating large sums to another girl on a live broadcast. The girl in the stream is shocked and overwhelmed by the flood of money. She faints on camera, stunned by the amount. The little streamer stares at Chen, shocked that he's giving money to someone else. She mutters that all that money should be hers. Her favorability spikes by 30. The girl on the stream wishes Chen would touch her instead of just the screen, another 30 points. Chen laughs at how ridiculous it is. Arriving at the venue, his wealthy friend welcomes him to one of the city's most elite private restaurants, accessible only with a special invitation. He mentions there are 3 special things about the place. Chen guesses 2 correctly, the food and the unique ambience, but can't guess the third. It's revealed when the president, Yuki, begins playing an instrument. That's the third feature, live music by the chef's daughter. She stands and sees the little streamer holding onto Chen. She drops her instrument and runs away in tears, losing 5 favorability points. Chen realizes he might have blown his chance and rushes after her. He pins her against the wall. She calls him an idiot for toying with her feelings. Chen knows he can't waste this chance. He quickly asks her if she's seen a certain movie. She looks at him, tired and confused. Lighting a cigarette, Chen tells her he's the son of a tycoon. He says his family has a hidden rule. At 18, he must spend 10 billion in 1 month to inherit 50 billion. He explains he's been investing in various causes and that the donations to streamers were just part of the spending plan. He says he told her all this because he trusts her and she's the only one who knows. Yuki is moved and hugs him, saying she misunderstood everything. She believes now that he truly cares and was trying to keep the secret to protect her. Her favorability rises by 20. On the way back, Yuki apologizes for her earlier behavior and insists on paying the bill. Chen's rich friend is amazed that Chen made peace with the president in less than 5 minutes. Meanwhile, the little streamer is fuming. She mutters that Yuki thinks too highly of herself and that she will win Chen in the end. At the table, she asks what Chen's relationship is with the president. Yuki jumps in and says that Chen hasn't even told his real name yet, and she should just call him Big Brother. The friend comments on how dominant Yuki is in the situation. The little streamer restrains herself. Chen tells them to stop arguing and eat. The two girls glare at each other, but Chen seems completely unaffected. The friend observes how one girl is a wealthy streamer and the other a highly accomplished woman. He says Chen is truly living the dream, having both options. He even calls Chen a seducer beyond compare. Later at home, Chen reflects on the expensive meal and thanks Yuki for covering the bill. He checks his system stats. Both Sula and Chuang are still listed as loyal bootlickers. Yuki is at 91 favorability and the little streamer at 92. Chen wonders if now is the time to make a bold move. Then he notices someone behind Yuki. It's Liang's girlfriend, with a favorability score of 76. He remembers it used to be just 25 and wonders if he's become more charming lately. Suddenly, a group of students rushes by, talking about someone confessing their love downstairs. Downstairs, a crowd watches a guy surrounded by candles, holding a guitar and roses. He pleads for another chance, saying he was always wrong and he will never hurt her again. Liang's girlfriend listens, torn and unsure. Chen arrives and asks what's going on. Then the girl suddenly slaps the bouquet and runs away. She stops in front of Chen and asks if he is the famous Chen Yuan, saying she's finally found him and begs him to add her. The crowd is stunned. Liang is furious and accuses her of betraying him. Chen tells him he's only seeing the consequences of his own actions. Chen lectures him about ignoring his girlfriend's feelings while chasing glory and attention. Liang admits he was wrong. Some girls in the crowd comment that if Liang was aggressive, then he deserves everything that's happening. Liang's ex stares at Chen, her favorability jumping to 91, even though he barely interacted with her. Yuki's friend rushes to warn her. She bursts into a room and demands to know what's going on, saying Chen Yuan is cheating and she needs to stop everything right now. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more awesome stories.